Yet to be started. Good. So, right now it's recorded. I need to be little conscious. Screen sharing has been started, and you people are able to see the slide over here. Okay. So, as we started last time around, we were there into project appraisal and finance. Now, major focus of this subject will be on the financial part. The theoretical part, which you have already studied in some of the subjects like project management in the graduation, will not be covered much because our orientation is little bit towards the practical part. But at least we should understand that what this capital expenditure is all about. Why only capital expenditures are covered in the project management? Can every expenditure be called as a capital investment? So any random investment you do, done by Tom, Dick, and Harry for any sort of a purposes, can be called as a capital expenditure or what? No, it cannot be called. There has to be some definition, right? Okay. So what are the things which gets included and where we should take care of? What are the things which are not a part of capital budgeting? Let's first try to understand the examples few. First one we have is, if a company does any kind of an infrastructural facility expenditure, like for employees, for customers, or for other stakeholders, say you are establishing one bill processing software. Now that involves a huge amount of cash outlays, right? And it would also be having its own cash inflows and outflows, so can be called as the capital expenditure. Now capital expenditure can be called as a capital expenditure in the accounting only if it satisfies few conditions. One is, the benefits which you receive from the capital investment must be for a many number of years. If the benefits are received just for 2 months or 3 months, then you cannot call it the capital expenditure. Then it would be a revenue expenditure. But it's not entirely same as the accounting. अकाउंटिंग के अंदर जो हम कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर कहते हैं उससे वो एकदम सिमिलर नहीं है, कुछ डिफरेंसेस है. बट कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर जो अकाउंटिंग में है वो सब हम प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के अंदर ले सकते हैं. इफ any kind of an expenditure you are making which involves a significant outlay, बहुत ज्यादा उसमें खर्चा हो रहा है, and the economic benefit which you are receiving from that project is varied for many number of years, you can call it the capital expenditure. The government infrastructural projects we see, like building the dam. Now building a dam would again be having the cash inflows and outflows. Yes, there would be some difficulties in measuring the cash inflows and outflows. The actual economic benefits you receive by building a dam on the river will be difficult to be measured. But that's what our task is. We are going to take this into account as well, that how to measure the cash inflows and outflows for those complicated kind of a projects. Some of the examples if I give you, like if government of India builds a bridge between the two places, now that estimation of cash inflows will be the most challenging task in that project, because you don't know what will be the demand of it. You don't know that how many number of people would be transporting from one place to another place. You don't know what will be the futuristic outlook of the project. So that's going to be the very important task. Anyway, so that is also a capital expenditure. Any kind of a fixed asset which company purchase, machinery, land, building, it can be physical fixed asset or intangible fixed asset, like intellectual property rights, investing in some trademarks, buying some patent from other company, intellectual property rights. That is also a capital expenditure. Now, I hope you people are aware about the fact that the fixed asset can be physical as well as the intangible. If it is intangible, that cannot be seen, that cannot be touched. Furniture can be seen, can be touched. It's tangible one. We can call it a fixed asset having the physical substance. But the trademark, if you purchase from someone, if you are taking the brand of someone, that brand do not have the physical existence, but yes, it has the monetary consideration. Why? Because it has the value. If you are taking the franchisee of someone, it has the monetary value, though it's intangible in nature, but it has the monetary value. You are going to get some economic benefits from it. So all those fixed assets can be called as capital expenditure. It can be research and development expenditure too. Now the economic benefits from research and development will be the most complicated one as compared to the other kind of investments we do. Because see, if you do the research and development, you are not aware about the actual outcome of it, first of all. If you are investing in some of the innovative practices, some of the technological kind of things, you are doing some research, whether your product will be successful or not, we are not aware about it. How to estimate the inflows from that? Most challenging task. So over there, some assumptions should also be taken while estimating inflows and outflows. So R&D expenditure is already been covered over there, so it's repeated. So some of the things that we'll have to take care into account while doing this project management, while identifying that as a capital expenditure, is that it must have its own cash inflows and outflows. Inflows can be direct, can be indirect too. It's not always like it will have the direct inflows only. Say if you take the fixed asset. Now fixed asset might increase your production capacity, direct benefit. Some of the fixed asset like furniture might not increase your production capacity, but it has the indirect effect. Because no one can say सर फर्नीचर परचेस कर लिया ना तो हमारा सेल्स बढ़ जाएगा, होता है इंटीरियर डेकोरेशन के अंदर पैसा स्पेंड कर दिया तो हमारा सेल्स बढ़ जाएगा, उसका डायरेक्ट इंपैक्ट आप फाइंड कर सकते हो? नहीं कर सकते. बट स्टिल it's a capital expenditure because you cannot say that it's difficult to estimate the futuristic outcome or say the benefits from it. That's why we cannot call it as the capital expenditure. No, difficulty is not a parameter and excuse. Even though it's difficult to estimate, still it's the capital expenditure. यहाँ पे लाइटिंग वगैरह कर दी तो उसकी डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट है एडमिशंस के ऊपर, बट स्टिल इज द कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर. इंटीरियर, यहाँ पे बेंच में नीचे बैठते बच्चे तो उसकी डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट नहीं होती, लेकिन हमने बेंच लाई, फर्नीचर आ गया, 3 बच्चे इधर बैठे हैं, इनडायरेक्ट इफेक्ट आएगी. Yes, it's difficult to estimate the cash inflows and outflows, Purvita, but still it is capital expenditure. Okay, and slightly different from the accounting thing we do. In accounting, generally we identify capital expenditure as, which has the longer period of time. The economic benefits you get from the capital asset is for a many number of years as compared to the revenue expenditure. Just like તમે કપડા બાય કરતા હોય તો you wear those clothes for many number of months. But if you take the વડા પાઉં તો 10 મિનિટની અંદર સેન્સ્યુઅલ પ્લેઝર મળી જાય અને પૂરું થઈ ગયું. રેવન્યુ એક્સપેન્ડિચર. 2 મહિના માટે કોઈ કેવો એક્સપેન્ડિચર કરી દીધો, you are paying the salaries to your employees, revenue expenditure. But you are building some infrastructural facility for the employees where their children will be playing, capital expenditure. Because it's not going to be stay there only for few number of years, right? It would be for many number of years. Economic life of the project is for many number of years. Now what happens in accounting, sometimes some expenditures are classified as revenue expenditures, but still it may get qualified as capital expenditure for the project management purposes. If I give you some of the simple examples, if you incur the expenditure on one marketing campaign, now sometimes accounting treats that marketing campaign expense as the deferred revenue expenditure. Over a period of time, it will put some revenue expenditure for all the number of years. मतलब मार्केटिंग कैंपेन 5 साल के लिए करते हो, कोई अच्छा वाला कैंपेन आपने शुरू किया है जिसके अंदर आप कोई सेलिब्रिटी को हायर करते हो, कुछ ये कर दिया, अब उसमें जो खर्चे होने वाले हैं वो 5 साल तक करने वाले हैं. तो हर साल आप कुछ ना कुछ उसके एक्सपेंस को रिकॉर्ड करते जाओगे और बाकी का जितना भी एक्सपेंस होगा दैट वुड बी रिकॉर्डेड एज द डेफर्ड रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर समटाइम्स. Now though it may not be qualified as the capital expenditure as per the accounting, because accounting is based on the standards of accounting, right? Rules and regulations prescribed by the standards on accounting, उसके हिसाब से अकाउंटिंग करते हैं, लेकिन सब्सटेंस में वो भी एक कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर ही है. 5 साल के लिए आपने किया आपको उसमें से डायरेक्टली कैश इनफ्लो नहीं आ रहा है, you may not be able to establish that what's the direct effect of that marketing campaign on your revenue, but still it's the capital expenditure. So slightly, sometime, some of the expenditures might be referred as the revenue expenditure in the accounting, but might get qualified as capital expenditure as per the project management. And here, our task is not to identify what is revenue and what is capital. That's not our focus. આપણું ફોકસ કેની અંદર છે કે કોઈ એવો એક્સપેન્સ કરતા હોઈએ કે જેના ઉપરથી ઇકોનોમિક બેનિફિટ્સ ઓવર અ લોંગ પીરિયડ ઓફ ટાઈમ મળતા હોઈએ તો એનું ઓપરેશન કેવી રીતના કરવું, how to handle the financial analysis, how to do the financial analysis, how to find the projected inflows and outflows, how to measure the risk of the project. આપણું ફોકસ એની અંદર છે, આપણું એકદમ ઓલું રિજિડ ફોકસ નથી અકાઉન્ટિંગ જેવું. Is it clear? Okay. So that's gonna be the capital expenditure. Now let's understand that why it is difficult to do so. You must have observed that theoretically it might sound like, sir, it's the theoretical one, इसमें क्या आपने rocket science कर दिया. Difficult इसलिए है क्योंकि ये सब बोलने में इजी लगता है, कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर कर देना, कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर में से कैश इनफ्लो आउटफ्लो को एस्टिमेट करना, ये सब बोलने में बहुत इजी है, करने में जाओ इट्स क्वाइट डिफिकल्ट टास्क. Just imagine when Jio was established by Reliance Industries Limited, Purvita. At that time, can you identify for what many number of years the Jio is going to be there in the existence? How much difficult task it would be? Can you identify that how much subscription base Jio will be able to get over a number of years? Can you identify that Jio will be so much havoc in the communication market that it will gather this much of a subscriber base from the other telecommunication companies? Can you identify that the newly born company, infant company like this, will be tackling the communication giants in this way? Cannot be identified. It's very difficult to project. Now at that time, if those people would have found the payback periods, that the investment we have done, how many number of years will be taken to cover up these investments, there would be so many changes over a period of time in the payback periods. They didn't know that something like Corona will take place and subscriber base would be increased a lot like this. So many people will come to the communication channels, so many rural areas in which people did not have the exposure to the networking earlier will be coming to the mobile services so suddenly. કેટલા લોકોએ નવા ફોન લીધા લેક્ચર અટેન્ડ કરવા માટે? નાના છોકરાઓએ કેટલા ફોન લઈ લીધા? તો ફોન લેશે તો એની અંદર સિમ કાર્ડ તો આવશે કે નહીં આવે? હવે આવી અનસર્ટનિટીઝ વખતે can you identify that for how many number of periods the Jio would be there, what will be the projected cash inflow, cash outflow? આપણી પાસે cash inflow and outflow આવી જાય ને પછી capital budgeting માં પ્રોજેક્ટ એક્સેપ્ટ કરવો કે ના કરવો, that's very easy to do. Estimation જ મુશ્કેલ છે. In financial management, you must have observed that while doing the capital budgeting, cash inflows and outflows were given to us. But how did we get that? You were writing it 1 lakh is the cash inflow. How did you get that 1 lakh? That's what we are going to do. That's why it's difficult. So there are certain difficulties. What are those difficulties? Let's go to one by one. First thing is it has the long-term effects. Now, when I say long-term effect, that means it changes the basic character of the firm. Now, Reliance Industries Limited was known as the petrochemical business company till this point of time. Now it is also known as the communication company. Yes or no? Out of the 10 lakhs crores of market capitalization which Reliance Industries enjoys, the valuation of Jio comes at around 3 to 4 lakhs crores, around 30 to 40% of the company. It changes the basic character. आपने कंपनी को जिस पर्पस के लिए खोला था वो पर्पस ही पूरा चेंज हो गया. Yes or no? Some of the businesses which Tesla started, it couldn't continue. Then it suddenly came into the electronic car manufacturing. Then it suddenly came into the space manufacturing, space and aircrafts. And now they have started producing so many other weird kind of things, wines and so many other things. I don't know. Now, आपको मालूम नहीं है कौन सी चीज चल जाएगी. And I tell you now, that's certainly of the topic actually. If you see that the trend of billionaires, no, over a number of time or a number of periods, in 1960s to 70s or 80s, the finance people were the richest people in the world. Those who invested in the shares, those who had taken some financial assets, those were the people who were ruling it. Then suddenly the era had came in 80s and 90s where the people who were there into a mass manufacturing of goods were came to the top. Specifically, the energy demands got increased a lot in 80s and 90s because of the manufacturing revolts that were taking place in China, India, some emerging countries. So all those people who were engaged into a manufacturing kind of a business, no, reached to the top. Then again in 2000, the era started where the people who were engaged in the this kind of a businesses like technical businesses, IT businesses, information technology businesses came to the top. Bill Gates, then Elon Musk, you may take the example, Amazon. These were the stories built from 2000. Now it is projected from 2025 onwards that IT era is also over. The serial entrepreneurs are going to rule the tops now. Serial entrepreneurs who can adapt from one thing to another thing, who do not stick to just one particular normal business, because nowadays the cycle and the period of the business is reduced a lot. The kind of a change that we are able to see is ever increasing. The rate of change is also ever increasing. See, mark my words, the rate of change, it's not just the change which is taking place, the rate of change is also increased. It is increasing at the faster rate now. Earlier, when you were planning for the businesses, you could identify that yes, for 20 to 30 years we would be making that business and we would be surviving that. Now you cannot make the planning for 20 to 30 years. After 5 years, the entire dynamics would be changed. University, I have a serious doubts. After 5 to 10 years, what will be the meaning of this kind of a physical infrastructure if everyone would be moving to online? The kind of a courses I'm able to see, the kind of a skill development which is taking place, uh, it's really uncertain that how the payback period would be received by doing this much of physical infrastructure. So it is having the long-term effects. And it changes the basic character of the firm. That's why it's very important decision to make. It's a one-time exercise. जितनी एक्सरसाइज अभी क्या है कि वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट करना है तो वो तो हर दिन चलता रहेगा. कैश थोड़ा सा मैनेज हो जाएगा तो नई सिस्टम कर दो तो फिर से अच्छी तरीके से मैनेज करना शुरू कर दोगे. थोड़ी सी चीजें बिगड़ जाती है तो कुछ नया इंप्लीमेंट कर दो तो हो जाएगा. लेकिन आपने जिसके लिए कंपनी बनाई, हजारों करोड़ रुपए खर्च लिए, फिर सुबह उठ के नहीं नहीं यार नहीं मजा आ रहा है बिजनेस में, कुछ अलग करते तो नहीं चलेगा ना. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी लॉन्ग टर्म बिजनेस. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स अ डिफिकल्ट वन. irreversibility, it cannot be reversed. केतन साहब को लगा कि मारवाड़ यूनिवर्सिटी ढलनी है और 2 महीने का कंस्ट्रक्शन हो गया, फिर उसको लगा यार नहीं मजा आ रहा है, कुछ अलग करते हैं, चलेगा? यू कैन नॉट डू दैट. इट्स irreversible. That's why it's difficult. Substantial outlays. Now there are very few individuals who will be able to finance this kind of a projects. Obviously you would have taken the help of many people, many companies, many corporates, many banks, many financial institutions, and then you would be able to build such kind of a gigantic infrastructure. Substantial outlays. It's not something कि 5 रुपए की चाय पीनी है कि नहीं पीनी है. This will change the the fortune of so many people around you. This will affect the life of so many people around you. Substantial outlays. That's why it's difficult. Measurement problems, as I've already stated. You cannot measure the things. The black and white kind of a solutions that we were able to find in the capital budgeting, that whether the project should be accepted or rejected, Purvita, cannot be done over here. Because for that you require the cash inflows and outflows, which must be accurately calculated. But you cannot have this much of an accuracy. You do not have. That's practical problem. How can you estimate inflows and outflows so accurately and say that this project should be accepted or rejected? Estimation problems. And that happens specifically in the projects where you are not taking the decision to change the project entirely, but you are just adding some expansion there, or you are replacing that with another thing. At that time, you find the incremental cash inflow. Say, if I give you the example, you had one machinery. Now that machinery was producing 50,000 number of units in a year. You change another machinery, you don't know that how would be the incremental benefit of the new expenditure you will be making. Whether the actual demand at that time would be 65, 70,000 number of units, how much actual incremental cash inflow would be there? When you are replacing something, no, at that time your focus is not on the actual investment, your focus is on the incremental investment. Yes or no, Ms. Purvi? આપણે કોઈકને રિપ્લેસ કરતા હોઈએ તો આપણું ફોકસ કેમાં હોઈએ કે વધારાનો ખર્ચો કેટલો કરવો પડશે. તો ભાઈ ઇન્ક્રીમેન્ટલ વાળા જે ડિસિઝન હોય ને એ તો વધારે કોમ્પ્લિકેટેડ હોય. ધેન યુ વિલ ટુ આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ કે હા જો જૂનું હોત ને તો આટલું તો હોત જ, તો એના કરતા વધારે કેટલું થશે નવું ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરીશું. That's the problematic one. Incremental expenses. Uncertainties. Just before a few days, again, Bill Gates had quoted that we require team of 300 good, what do I call the kind of a people for handling the next pandemic, which can be deadlier than the coronavirus we have faced. The uncertainties we are getting, we are exposed to, are coming to us faster than ever. You cannot make the planning for 20 to 30 years now. For every 2 to 5 years, dynamics are getting changed like anything. Robotics is taking place. Artificial intelligence is boosting your systems like anything. The automation of tasks are taking place. Uncertainties. The natural calamities, the rate of natural calamities has also increased. Do you know that what is going to be the booming sector nowadays? That's going to be the renewable energy sector. That sector was often understated. It was not considered कि भाई इसमें भी billionaires बन सकते हैं, इसके अंदर भी इतना बड़ा investment हो सकता है. But now the significant increase in the renewable energy sector we will be able to see in upcoming few years would be too high as compared to the other industries. Climate change. Uncertainties. Temporal spread. Now, just because of the fact that the project would be having too much of life, 20 years, 25 years, you will be facing the problem to identify the proper discounting rates. Now, what is the discounting rate? The rate of return expectation from the project, but that differs over a period of time. Yes or no? When the company is in the expansion mode, જ્યારે કંપની આવી રીતના વધતી હોય, પ્રોડક્ટ લાઈફ સાયકલ શીખી છે ને બધા લોકો માર્કેટિંગની અંદર. When the company is in the expansion mode like this, I'm not able to do the drawing, I don't know why. So this is the product life cycle or business life cycle we do, right? Now, when the company is there in the growth stage like this, expansion stage as well, at that time, your discounting rate would be slightly higher. I mean, you can increase the discounting rate as well for this many number of years because your required rate of return is getting changed. Your expectation from this project is increasing because company is expanding. Then it comes the saturation stage where the model of business will be achieving the saturation heights. આપણે એમ કે ને કે હવે દિવસો આવી ગયા છે પૂર્વી દિવસો ભરાઈ ગયા છે ભાઈને હવે અહીંયાથી પાછું રિવર્સ બેક આવશે એ સમયે you would be having the highest discounting rate. But when the company falls into, or a business model or a product falls into this category, in this stage where there is a decline, at that time, your expectation and required rate from the project would be different. So discounting rate, do you understand what is the discounting rate? It is the required rate of return from the project at which we discount. We find the present value of inflows and outflows, and then we identify that whether the project we should be accepted or not. You are learning it in the financial management. Yes or no, Purvita? થોડું ઘણું યાદ આવે છે? આપણે ઓલું required rate of return find કરીએ, NPV find करते थे, IRR find करते थे. Now your requirement of that required rate of return would be different for number of stages. And if that period increases 20-25 years સુધીનો કોઈનો પ્રોજેક્ટનો પીરિયડ થઈ જાય, then it becomes more difficult. You don't know that for how many number of years the company or the business and the project will be in expansion mode. I mean, you will be receiving some cash inflows at the greater rate. Then what will be the saturation stage, and from which stage the company would be in a decline mode? That's difficult. Because of the temporal spread माने के for a many number of years the project will be there. You will not be able to identify inflows, outflows as well as the appropriate discounting rate. પહેલું assumption તો એ કરવું પડે whether the same discounting rate should be applicable for all the number of years, and if not, then what is the other psychology? Whether in the expansion mode you want to increase the required rate, what will be the required rate of return in the saturation stage? For after how many number of years this saturation stage will arrive? These are all the calculations, estimations. Difficult to be done, right? So because of these problems, Miss Heli, Miss Aruna, it's important. The thing which is difficult becomes important by default. Because the things which are difficult will be done only by the few. And if it can be done only by the few, it becomes important. Yes or no, Miss Purvita? Some people would be like, sir, psychology shuru kar di. Koi baat nahi. So any queries till now? May I have a confirmation from offline as well as the online students out here?
Okay. No, sir.
No, sir.
Very sure? No, sir. Okay. How many have joined? Let me check it again further. Dara has joined, Pooja has joined, Jalpatu, Mr. Meet too. Mr. Meet has put the photograph of one of the very luxurious cars, Mr. Meet. That's amazing
sir.
photograph.
Thank you,
अच्छा
sir.
इसके पीछे का कोई लॉजिक है ऐसा लग्जरियस कार क्यों रखा? It's your dream or what?
No, sir, I like, and yes, it's dream too.
Okay, so that's gonna be the capital expenditure for you.
Yes, sir.
अभी से कैश आउटफ्लो एस्टिमेट करना शुरू कर दो मीत.
Sure, sir.
Okay, let's move ahead further. Okay, so now these are going to be the various categories. How many genders we have right now in the class? 2, male and female. Others as well, if I don't know. Obviously there won't be. Same students can be identified in male and female, right? And if I want to bifurcate the same students in above average students in terms of CGPA, below average student and average students, that can also be done, right? So you can identify the project in a different categories, and same people will fall into one or the other kind of a category. Yes or no? Students will not be changed. Similarly, the projects will not be changed, but the category by which you will be bifurcating will be different. So first category will be physical or intangible. The things which can be touched, which can be seen, furniture can be seen, can be touched. Machinery can be touched, can be seen. Trademarks cannot be. Patents cannot be. Intellectual property rights cannot be. Royalty, what do we call that? What do we call that? Secret. Yes, a secret fish, a secret kind of a tech. I forgot the name of it actually. If the company gets the license of some of the secret designs, then it is having a one name. Copyright may not be the appropriate name for it. Some intellectual output anyway. So trade secrets, yes, the trade secrets can also be the intangible asset. So that's on the basis of the physical substance. Then the same projects can be identified on the basis of investment objective, can be categorized on the basis of investment objective. If I give you one example, say Tata Motors invested in Jaguar. You must be aware about it, right? Now, investing into a luxury car market was a strategic decision. Till that point of time, Tata was there only in the heavy vehicles manufacturing, Tata trucks, and some of the cars which were there in a low income category profile. But Tata came into a luxury car market after taking over the Jaguar. That was a strategic decision. Now, if the Jaguar model is not successful, then Tata will try to implement a new technology, new designs. The Jaguar models will be changed. Some new kind of things will be taking place. Now that will be a tactical decision. So if you are changing the production facility to make it more efficient and effective, that's the tactical decision, but you are changing your entire philosophy altogether. You are entering into a new kind of a strategy only, then it's a strategic decision. So there could be two kinds of an investment based on the objective. One, it could be a strategic decision. Another one, it can be tactical decision. What's the fundamental difference between the two? The strategic decision is that you are changing your altogether a different strategy. You are moving into a different product segment. Your basic character of the firm is getting changed. You are moving into a luxury car manufacturing now. That's the strategic decision. But if the Jaguar is failing, Ms. Purvita, then you are changing the production facility, you are changing the technology, you are changing some plans, you are changing the designs, and the expenditure you are making for that will be your tactical decision. We say, no, that's whether it is a strategic decision or a tactical decision. Tactical means the strategy remains same. But to use that strategy effectively and efficiently, what will be your new tactics? So capital investment can also be further classified in strategic or tactical. Is it clear? Okay. Then it can be on the basis of planning and control. Some of the investments may be a mandatory investments, करना ही पड़ेगा, उसके अलावा चलेगा ही नहीं. ऐसे कौन से एक्सपेंडिचर है जो करने ही पड़ेंगे? अगर आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बिजनेस में जाते हो तो प्लांट लेना ही पड़ेगा, मशीनरी लेनी ही पड़ेगी पूर्विता. मस्ट डू काइंड ऑफ एन इन्वेस्टमेंट. कुछ ना कुछ तो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फैसिलिटी बिल्डअप करनी ही पड़ेगी, वरना ऑफिस का काम कैसे चलेगा? और इट कैन बी अ रिप्लेसमेंट डिसीजन. The simple meaning of replacement is that something is already there existing, you are changing that, something new. Now replacement decisions are little difficult. Why it is little difficult? Because in the replacement decision your focus is not on the actual cash inflows, your focus will be on the incremental cash inflows. Are you getting it? Because there were already some existing cash inflows from the existing project. If you are replacing it with a new project, then your focus is not on the actual cash inflows. Now it's on the incremental cash inflows and outflows. So that will be a little bit challenging one for us to do. Then it can be expansion. You had a machinery which was producing 50,000 number of units, but you have started employing a machinery which will be having the 70,000 number of units production capacity. You are increasing the capacity. That's the expansion. Existing is there, you are not replacing the existing, you are just increasing the capacity of it. Expansion decision, yes or no? Or it can be diversification investments. You are entering into a new market, you are entering into a new product, new brand, new kind of a franchisee, new kind of a brand name you want to give to your products. That's the diversification. You already have something, you are diverting your portfolio somewhere else. And more number of things you have in the portfolio, better it is for you, right? If you are just dependent on a one product, you are at the risky position. More and more dependence on the few things increases your risk by many folds. That is applicable to the woman empowerment too. Let's move on. It can be R&D investments, research and development investments. Again, a very difficult one because you will not be able to identify the actual cash inflows from it. It would be having a very indirect effect. Now, up to what extent the research and development activity would be successful, not aware about it. Apple is spending billions and billions. We are able to see that new innovative products and market things we are getting, but many number of products have failed as well. We are not aware about that. આપણે ઓલું કહીએ ને કે જે સક્સેસ થયું એની ખબર હોય પણ એની પાછળ બીજા 900 ફેલ થયા હોય આપણને ના ખબર. So you cannot identify the success ratio of the research and development activity you are carrying. So estimation of inflows and outflows would be a very challenging task over there. Okay, or it can be a miscellaneous kind of an investment. If company is establishing a school for the students or for the children of their employees, now can you identify the direct effect of those school expenditure on the revenue of the company? But it would be having some effect. Welfare kind of an expenditures, which does not have the direct effect on the revenue, but they have the effect over a long period of time. Free education, free hostel facility, some recreational facility. You are building a gymnasium for your employees. Now, because of the fact that you are building a gymnasium for your employees, there is a possibility that your employee retention would be increased. Employee turnover ratio would be controlled. And if employee turnover ratio would be controlled, then it is possible that your training cost will be reduced because now you will be training fewer number of employees. So see, you will have to identify that what will be the exact economic benefit you have got because of this strategy by building a gymnasium. First, you will have to build a logical flow that if we will be building a gymnasium, then up to what extent we'll be able to boost up the satisfaction in the current employee. And if there would be a boost in the satisfaction level of the current employee strength, then up to what extent the retention ratio would be increased and up to what extent the employee turnover ratio would be decreased. And if the employee turnover ratio would be decreased by this extent, then up to what extent we'll be able to save our training cost of the new employees. Up to what extent, because of the boost in the productivity of the employees, they would be able to perform better. So up to what extent my sales would be increased because of this. These all are the indirect kind of benefits you get. And it's the financial problem. Why? Because if you are belonging to other specialization, you know how to retain the employee. But once the employees are returned, what are the financial implications of it? For that, you need to be there. Because estimation of finance is the most challenging task. No? Behavioral kind of a thing is not that much challenging. You can change the policies, you can change the strategies, but what's the financial implication of it? And that's where the people get stuck. That's why it's more technical sort of an exercise as compared to the other specializations. You want to develop a model where there would be some numerical explanations, and that's where the people get stuck. किसी को ऐसे बड़े बड़े कहो के बोल देना, अरे इसके कारण तो है ना एम्प्लॉय टर्नओवर रेशियो कम हो जाता है, ये इजी है, लेकिन कितने से कम होगा आइडेंटिफाई करना मुश्किल है. वही तो हमारा टास्क है. ओके, so miscellaneous kind of an investment, so it's a ad hoc category. So all those investments which does not fall into the earlier categories will be falling in miscellaneous categories. So these are the various types of investment expenditures we make. All the projects will be falling either in a 1 or 2 or 3. It's just a different kind of a category we have. Just like we have a male, female, then it would be above average, below average, and average students. Same people will be falling in those categories. Same projects will be falling in these categories too. Is it clear? Any difficulty in understanding till now? Okay. Now you must have understood the various challenges as well because of the various types of investment decisions we make. The challenges of the replacement decisions are entirely different from the challenges of the expansion decisions. The challenges of expansion decisions would be entirely different from the challenges of recreational kind of investments you make for your employees or for other stakeholders of the organization. Is it clear? Okay. Any doubt till now online? I think offline, I don't find there would be any speed issues, but in online there could be some speed issues as far as my speed is concerned. Is there any such issue? May I have a... Oh, slide was not visible. I'm sorry, Jalpa. I forgot to share the slide. You could unmute your mic over there at that time. Okay, Riddhi, speed was not an issue, no? Meet everyone. क्योंकि यहाँ पे ना ऑफलाइन बच्चों को इनको देख के मेरे को एंथुसियाज्म लेवल मेरा बढ़ जाता है, तो फिर आप लोग would be like, oh, ये तो बहुत स्पीड में जा रहा है. Okay, fine. So that's it for the day. If you have any question related to the things we have done, you can ask it to me. Else we'll be dispersing the class for the day. Then I would have some personal discussion with the people who have attended the class. And if you do not have any queries, then you can just put your attendance in the chat box. And once it is done, that's it from my side. Bye-bye, take care, sayonara. And if you want to stay or ask some question, then also it's fine. Yes, Jalpa, this was the slide. Let me share that again to you. You may take a snap of it. I guess you must have understood that. But just take a snap of it so you'll be able to get it in a better way. So I think I started with mandatory one, then replacement you have got, then expansion as well you got it, diversification, R&D investments and miscellaneous investments. Is it clear, Jalpa? Now, any doubt?
No, sir.
No,
Good,
sir.
thank you. Okay, see you all in the next session. Bye-bye, take care.